Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only 4D education service. I'm not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. We don't advocate you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private, take care of them in private. And today, this shout out to the God Kings of who reside, not reside, but who dwell upon New Jersey. All right, I'm going to show you how to get rid of the 4D crime family in New Jersey in 20 minutes or less. All right, so let's dive in. First and foremost, gentlemen, all right, the biggest issue that you have is that you think that these people who are placing these orders are judges. They are not. Okay, I'm going to prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt today. All right, because number one, I'm about sick and tired of New Jersey. All right, because they've been oppressing too many of the God Kings out there, and they need to be dealt with. I'm going to show you how to deal with them. All right, so this is New Jersey child support law. All right, program administration 110.2 child support program administration. Title 4D of the Social Security Act delegates responsibility for the operation of the child support program to 4D state agencies. All right, Title 4D has nothing to do with the Constitution. All right, this is a private law. All right, these are private regulations. In New Jersey, the 4D agency is the Department of Human Services, Division of Development, Office of Child Support Services, OCSS. It is the single and separate organizational unit, okay? Alone, disconnected organizational unit, which means also alone. All right, OCSS oversees the delivery of 4D services. All right, and if you look down to number 3, it oversees the judiciary's administrative office of the courts and the respective components of the judicial district, namely the family division, the probation division, child support and finance division. All right, look, it oversees the prosecutor's office. It oversees the county sheriff's office. It oversees the state attorney general's office. Wow. This alone, disconnected and detached organizational unit oversees all these constitutional things. The court? Right. So they are listed as contracted service providers of the New Jersey Child Support Program. Now, before I get started, gentlemen, I'm going to show you real fast, and it's right here in the yellow. This is a remedy that is so blatantly forward, you can't go wrong. In the administration of child support services, there shall be no discrimination by any race, any reason of what? Race, creed, color, of affectional or sexual orientation or sex, national origin, ancestry, yada, yada, yada. They can't discriminate. So you can ask them you can request case closure. They tell you no, you have them for deprivation of rights under color of law. All right. Now, look, I've got some red. Contractual agents under contract or agreement with the department. What? The Department of what? The Department of Human Services. All right. So these people, the court, the prosecutor, the sheriff, the state attorney generals, all right, they're in a contract. They're contracted service providers of the 4D program. All right. Let's see. What I want to do is I want to get down here to the definitions. All right, and if you read this document, gentlemen, you will find out that all these people are nothing but contractors. Contractual agent means an entity providing a child support service or functions of the 4D child support program and is inclusive of those agents of the program procured through what? Purchase of service contracts, contractual agreements, or memorandums of understanding with the 4D agency. They're contractual agreements. 45 CFR 32.34 requires that they be in a contractual agreement, okay, in order to get federal funding. All right, so providing child support services. What is involved with child support services? Warrants, right? That's a service this is a purchase of service contract. This purchase of service contract is between the court system, which you think is the court system, and the sheriff's department. The sheriff gets paid every time he gets federally funded for arresting somebody on the child support warrant, outstanding warrants. Yes, he does. All right, that makes it unconstitutional because he's doing it for profit. The sheriff's department is in the Article 6 The Constitution, he's a public officer. He has no business dwelling in a contract, any type of contract. So they are contractual agents. All right. They have the court defined as, oops, my bad, passed. Court means the what? Superior Court, Chancery Division, Family Part. Gentlemen, Chancery Division is, look up Chancery. All right, I'm not going to go into that right now. So here you have the court means the Superior Court, Chancery Division, which is what? It is a contractual agent. Why? Because it provides 4D services, okay, inclusive in those agents. Now, let's look at the word inclusive. I think I got it up here. All right, let's look at something here. All right, inclusive, embraced, comprehending the stated limits or extremes. So these contractors, their stated limits are Title 4D of the program. That's it. Okay? Okay? Inclusive of these agents. So now we get the Latin word inclusio unius est exclusio alterius. The inclusion of one thing is the exclusion of another. The certain designation of one person is absolute exclusion of all others. All right, what does that mean? Okay. Under Title 4D, look, what? Contractual agent. They're performing services and providing services that are inclusive. Who is this contractual agent? Now, let's look at something else. What is a contractor? Look, contractor. This term strictly applicable to any person who enters into a contract. So, Title 4D is inclusive only in 4D contractors. The mention of one thing is the exclusion of another, which means that it excludes judges. It only includes contractors. Contract does not convey or vest any judicial power to anybody. It is impossible. So now they're contractors. They're under a contractual obligation, the obligation which arises from the contract to provide 4D services. But they're getting paid. They get money. They profit from it. Okay? But anybody dealing with child support, that's their identity now. You're a child support contractor. All right? Let's look at the Constitution. All right, supreme power is vested in the Superior Court in New Jersey. What does vested mean? Absolute, not subject to be defeated by a condition precedent. Yes, it can, because it's defeated under the contract. There's no judicial power vested in that contract. It can't confer any judicial power. So where did this court order come from? All right, let's go back. Let's go here. All right, so these contractual agents, they have no authority. The Superior Court of New Jersey under this contract is a contractual agent. It's not a court. The judge who signed the order, that's not a judge. It's not a de facto judge. He's a de jure judge. He's pretending to be a judge. That's done under color of authority. Okay? There is no such thing as a court order under Title 4D in the state of New Jersey. Number one, because the 4D crime family operates in the executive branch, right? But under separation of powers, no person having duties of one shall exercise the duties of another. So for a court can't do that because a contractor can, because they're not judges. All right. That's why you can sue them under 1983, because they're not in the performance of their judicial duties under that contract. That's a contractual obligation. Judicial duties, you have to read the Constitution. It don't say nothing about child support. Okay? It's very simple. All right? A judge he can't hold a position of profit. Look, let's go here. 7. Look. The justice of the Supreme Court and the judges of the Superior Court, Family Division, Chancery, all right, shall hold no other office or position of profit under this state or the United States. Gentlemen, the 4D agency is a partnership between the federal government and the states. A partnership is an association of two or more persons as co-owners of a business for profit. All states profit from the 4D program and are free to share or free to spend their share of profits any way the state sees fit. However, any federal money that is not supposed to be profit has to go back into the program. So it is, right, a position of profit, which means that's not a judicial order and it didn't come from an Article 5 or 6 court in the state of New Jersey. All right, gentlemen. All right, it's been 10 minutes, okay? Shut it down, okay? Shut it down. All right, let's go one more. All right, this is the New Jersey Child Support Hearing Officer Program Operations Manual. All right, and we're going to go to my favorite part right here. Mission statement. The mission of the New Jersey Judiciary. We are an independent branch of the government, constitutionally entrusted with the fair and just resolution of disputes in order to preserve the rule of law. Look that up. I know what it is, but look it up. And to protect the rights and liberties guaranteed by the Constitution and laws of this state. So right here, this is the court's downfall right here. Number one, they're not independent. Independent means not dependent, not subject to control, restriction, modification, or limitation from any given outside source. And how can you prove that? Because if we go back up here and it explains to us administration, guess what? The 4D agency is the OCSS. The court, it supervises the court, the prosecutor, the county sheriff, the state attorney. These are contractual agents. They're under the supervision of somebody else. There is no independence. They're not independent under that contract. Okay? They are not independent. Now, damn. So because they're not, that's not judiciary. You have to use the judiciary for exactly what it states. And then in order for you to do that, you need to be where you need to be. Remember, the state gives homage to Almighty God for your civil and religious liberty, which this God has given you, not the state. All men and God created man, Genesis 1:26. All men are by nature equal, free, and independent, and have certain natural and unalienable rights, among which of those are enjoying and defending life and liberty, of acquiring possession and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety and happiness. As an obligor, are you getting that? No, you cannot. And you need to get back into this status and bring your complaint as a man, not as an obligor. All political power is inherent in the people. My favorite. Government is instituted for the protection, security, and benefit of the people. And they have at all times, the right to alter or reform the same whenever the public good may require it. That insurrection that they called on January 6, 2023, people had the right to do that. All right? You have the right to do it. I'm just saying. Okay? So that being said, gentlemen, all right, a judge swears an oath to uphold two constitutions, the state and the federal. All right, he or she didn't swear an oath to uphold Title 4D of the Social Security Act under a contractual obligation. So they're not performing judicial duties. And because they have succeeded to the status of contractor, guess what? They're no longer judges. You have no judicial power vested in that court. You have your assignment, gentlemen. All right, New Jersey, I'm finishing you off once and for all. Gentlemen, go get them, okay? It's time for you to declare war. You need help? Bang my email, HathorSehk at gmail.com. All right, we'll provide you with an education. We'll provide you with proper documentation. All right, we'll provide you with the proper books. We'll provide you with the proper dictionaries. All right, everything you need, we'll provide you for. And more importantly, once you know what it actually says, you read it for yourself. Remember, the truth shall set you free. This is their information, fellas. They can't come back and say, oh, no, that's not true. That's just there for that bullshit. It is true. Okay? All right. You're dealing with the OCSS's bitch. The court has no power. There's no judicial power vested in contractors. And more importantly, before we leave, let me go here. Look. The state agency or local jurisdictions may contract with other governmental entities such as law enforcement agencies and state courts. But more importantly, let's go here. And this is how you can tell they're no longer independent. This statewide child support agency is the sole point of contact for the federal government and the entity through which federal 4D funding flows. All right, so what that means is the 4D crime family is look, it's between them and the federal government. This is not a state agency. They are outsourced by the federal government and they're in there. Okay, that's all it is. Check it out. They can contract with the courts and the sheriffs. There must always be a contract whenever 4D funding is being provided to a governmental entity that is providing 4D services. Gentlemen, you have your assignment. All right, go and get this case dismissed. I want to hear back from you in New Jersey. All right, and all right, pull the gloves off. No prisoners. No prisoners at all. All right, Hotep.